Hey, Baba. I love stories, I have to say. And I think of this little poem that Phyllis Frederick wrote, because our life is our story. Man cannot have God without telling stories. God cannot have man without creating stories. In this storytelling universe, I am only a comma.
Would you read it one more time?
Man cannot have God without telling stories. God cannot have man without creating stories. In this storytelling universe, I am only a comma. I wanted to tell my little story before I read my stories. I had the great privilege and grace and really happiness to perform for Baba's beloved Mehera. And now, after so many years, I could see why practically I didn't meet her until, 1976, because, you could still see the pain of the separation, and I, because she found me entertaining and could make her laugh, she that just helped me. I thought I had like almost a work. I was just like, just my joy to create something. And one time when I was doing this story, I did a takeoff on Pinocchio called Whittle, Egonocchio, or how a naughty wooden boy learned to pine for beloved Baba. And I was Egonocchio, I was Whittle Ego. And I remember at one point, it was in Mandalay Hall at Marazad. And I remember one point I looked out just for a second, and there was Mehera, and I have to say, it was the face of joy. She was just totally absorbed in the story. And it was just joy on a face, and a being. It was so beautiful. Anyway, I wanted to tell about this story because it was very significant. So I would ask if I could perform for her, and she'd say yes. But this one time I asked, and she gave me 3 minutes. So I found this beautiful song that I always loved. It's on a Pete Townsend album. I don't know which one by it. It's by a New Zealander called Paul, I think it's Paul Kyle, Kyle, and he's on the other side. He's passed away. But so it was at Marazad. If you've been there, it's kind of a rough terrain, and it was Baba's birthday, and they spread canvas over the dirt. Anyway, the music came on, and I don't know what happened, but I felt like I was on the wrong planet. I felt so heavy. I didn't know if I could move, and I had 3 minutes to move. So I moved, but it was like my mind was saying, why did you ask to do this? This is painful. Why did you ask? It was like I call it mind attack. When your mind attacks you, like, what are you doing? You're miserable. And but anyway, I got to the end of the song, the 3 minutes and 40 seconds. And years later, I lived in Los Angeles. Years later, I was talking about how painful it was that I asked, but it was so painful I could hardly move. And this Baba lover that had been there, she says, that was the lightest dance I've ever seen you do. So it was so fascinating to me because our dance, or our life is our dance. They call it the dance of life. That's all we have to offer. That's all we have. So, and I was thinking, a lot of part of my life, I didn't want to be here, and I was depressed. So that's no fun. So it's like it was in the dance. It came out in the dance. I could hardly move, and it was so funny. I even got in trouble here in Myrtle Beach one time because I would do the dance and I would call it my prayer dance because, how can you get through life without a prayer, a prayer or two? So anyway, I was going to do my prayer dance at the Myrtle Beach Center. And the man that's kind of organizer, I can't say in charge, you always say God's in charge, thank God. But anyway, he says, don't make your introduction longer than your dance. And I'm the wrong person to approach right before performance, So anyway, I got up on the stage and I said what I said because the importance of the dance is that's our life. That's our life. So that's bottom line. That's all you have. You just move around and do things. And if you don't move around enough, you're in trouble. But so I went ahead and said my important thing I felt. Then I did my dance. And then I said, from the stage, I says, am I within your time limit? The person was so upset. I mean, I just, I said it in a strong voice. Have I met the time limit? Well, I got reported. It was so funny. It was like getting squealed on. Anyway, I'm going to read today this story that I love because it seems to be, am I framed? Yeah. This is a book that I loaned or gave. I don't know. I mean, what can you say? You're lucky to be around Mehera. Anyway, I left this book with her because she loved horses, and it's such a perfect story, of really Baba and the manifestation. Anyway, it has these delightful, I'll do my best to show it because it's rather awkward on the Zoom. I feel very cramped. Anyway, it's a Mongolian legend called Suho and the White Horse. This instrument, if you could see it, is called the horse head fiddle. And it plays an important part in the story.
Beautiful.
I tell you, the pictures they're watercolor, and I just love them. In the heart of Asia lies an ancient land called Mongolia. Its broad steppes and grasslands have long been the home of brave horsemen and shepherds. Among the people of Mongolia, it's so awkward. I feel like a gymnast doing this.
Rosalie, you can just show us the picture and then turn around and read it. You don't have to continue. Yeah.
Among the people of Mongolia, many play a beautiful instrument called a horse-head fiddle, which takes its name from the small figure of a horse's head carved at the top. If the carved horse's head could speak to you, this is the tale it would tell.
Beautiful pictures. Yeah.
Long ago, a poor shepherd boy named Suho lived with his grandmother in a round yurt. The yurt. It's a roomy felt tent, a roomy felt tent in the middle of the Mongolian steppes. Each day, Suho rose early to help his grandmother, that's her, and to prepare breakfast. Then he will go out onto the grassy plains to watch over their small flock of sheep. Suho loved to sing. His rich voice would often ring out over the steppes, breaking the stillness of early morning. That makes me think of that time they saw Baba singing and dancing in the early morning, you know. One night, Suho did not return to his grandmother's yurt at the usual time. His grandmother and the other shepherds were frantic with worry. Then, all at once, they saw Suho running across the steppes toward them, carrying something white in his arms.
Oh.
When they dashed out to meet him, they saw that the white object was a newborn foal. Beaming with happiness, Suho told them of his adventure. I was just on my way home when I noticed this little one, too weak to stand. I searched all around, but found no one who might be his master. And his mother was nowhere in sight. I was afraid the wolves would find him during the night, so I brought him home. Looks like they got along. Days went by, and Suho devoted himself to caring for the colt. It grew into a splendid, spirited yearling. Its coat gleamed as white as a field of snow, and everyone who looked at it admired its beauty. To Suho, the horse was as dear as his own life. One night, Suho was jolted out of sleep by the wild neighing of his horse and the bleating of his sheep. He sprang out of bed and ran to the sheepfold where he penned his flock at night. He saw a huge wolf trying to leap the fence and attack the sheep. But the white horse faced the wolf and with desperate bravery did its best to fight off the attacker. After Suho had driven the horse away, he hurried back to the sheepfold. The young horse was shivering and dripping with sweat. Suho gave his horse a good rub down and spoke to it as if to a brother. White horse, you fought well and bravely tonight. I thank you. Months flew past, and soon they became years. One spring, exciting news spread among all the shepherds. The governor had declared that a big race was to be held in the city. As a prize, the winner might claim the hand of the governor's daughter as his bride. The shepherds of Suho's village urged him, "You have such a fine white horse. Why not enter the horse? Why not enter the race?" It's going to say, why not enter the horse? So Suho mounted his beloved white horse and rode off across the wide grasslands. No words. A crowd of spectators had already gathered at the field. In a large pavilion beside the racetrack, sat the richly dressed fat governor, surrounded by his guards and other noblemen. From all over the country, bold young horsemen had come to enter the race. The signal was given. With 1 second, with one accord, they swung their leather riding crops and galloped off. The race had begun. Onward, the horses ran as swift as birds in flight. One horse led the field. It was Suho's white horse. The white horse has won. Go and summon its rider, commanded the governor. But when Suho was brought forward, the governor saw he was only a poor shepherd boy. Ignoring his promise to make the winner his son-in-law, he grunted, "I shall give you 3 pieces of silver. You are to leave the white horse with me. Now get out of my sight." Angrily, Suho retorted, "I have come to run in a race. I did not come to barter horse flesh." "Insolent beggar, you dare to answer me back," the governor shouted. "Guards, throw him out." The guards rushed out to obey their master's command. Suho was beaten and left lying senseless where he had fallen. Leading the white horse, The governor called his men to him and haughtily left the field. Suho was rescued and carried home by one of his comrades. Suho was badly hurt. Lovingly and skillfully, his grandmother tended him. Her care eventually brought healing to Suho's wounds, but nothing could heal the sorrow in his heart. What had become of his white horse? Suho could think of nothing else. Meanwhile, the governor felt very pleased with himself for having secured such a swift and handsome horse. He could hardly wait to show it off. One day, he invited all the nobles to a grand banquet. When the feast was at its height, his men led out the white horse, richly saddled and bridled. The governor intended to ride the horse then and there for all his guests to admire. He heaved himself onto the saddle. Suddenly, the white horse began to buck and rear, and the fat governor thudded to the ground. The horse flashed through the noisy throng and galloped off, swift as the wind on the steppes. The governor struggled to his feet. "Quick," he bellowed, "go after the horse. If you can't catch him, then take your bows and shoot him. Don't let him get away alive." The guards drew their bows. One after another, the arrows struck home in the horse's flanks, but he still raced on. Late that evening, Suho heard a noise outside the tent. "Who is there?" he called. No answer came, only the same noise again. Suho's grandmother went outside. "The horse!" she cried. "It is our white horse." Suho jumped up and rushed out. It was indeed his white horse, with arrows bristling from its back and sweat pouring from its body. In spite of the cruel arrow wounds, the horse had galloped on and on until it was safe again with the kind master whom it loved so much. Gritting his teeth, Suho pulled the arrows one by one out of the horse's flank. "White horse, my own white horse, do not leave me alone again. Do not die." But the horse grew weaker. And in its large eyes, the luster faded. The horse died early the next day. Shattered by sorrow, Suho lay sleepless night after night. Finally, there came a night when he dozed off into a fitful sleep. the white horse appeared to him in a dream. When Suho stroked it, it drew close to him and nuzzled him fondly. Suho, it said in a soft voice, you must not mourn for me, so take my bones, hide, and sinews, and use them to make an instrument to play upon. If you do this, then I will be able to stay by your side forever and will always bring you peace and delight. The moment Suho awoke, he set about making a new kind of musical instrument. He did just as a white horse had told him to do, fashioning the instrument from the bones, sinews, hide, and hair of his beloved horse. At last, he finished his work. The new instrument was ornamented by the carved figure of a horse's head. Every time Suho drew the bow across its strings, many memories awoke within his heart. From the grief he had suffered when his white horse was killed, to the joys of the days when they had galloped far and free across the endless steppes. When he had been playing for a time, he could sense the white horse there beside him, listening. At such times, the tones of the fiddle sounded more beautiful than ever, and the listeners felt deep stirrings within their own hearts. Others made horsehead fiddles like the one Suho had created. In time, its music could be heard in almost every part of the grasslands of Mongolia. In the evening, when the day's work had ended, the shepherds would gather and listen to the song the horsehead fiddle sang. They forgot their weariness, and their hearts grew warm with peace and delight, giving them new strength for the days to come, for the manifestation. It just reminds me of from heart to heart, you know, the white horse avatar comes.
Rose,
Story, beautiful.
Yeah,
did Mehera ever, did you hear any comment from Mehera about that story? You gave that book to her, right?
yeah, and then when she passed, they sent it to me. No, but you know, I know how much she loved horses.
Yeah.
And she gave prasad to this friend of mine that had horses, a bag of prasad for the horses. Yeah, so and also she was such a horse person, you know, that time when she jumped on this horse and the women, Mandali didn't know what to do, and it galloped away. And they were responsible for her, and they're just helpless. So she was, she knew horses. I remember that time she told Baba to be careful that the horse was indicating he would kick. You know, she just had the horse savvy. And of course, that's what she asked Baba Jang for. If Baba says, what do you want? Just I think she said a white horse. But
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah,
she,
she did.
she got a white horse for sure. Yeah. Anyway, I love that story, and it speaks so much of the manifestation and
Yeah.
Story, beautiful.
It was
I'd rather-
terrific. Thank you.
yeah.
Thank
And
you.
and then I was going to share this.
Yay. So Rosalie, can you just, I don't know if it's easy for you to your lip, the top of your head is a little sometimes cut off. If I don't know if you can move your,
I'm so cramped.
Okay. All right, never mind.
It's like performing in a tin can for
I
me.
know.
I love movement, so I know when I got this little holder, they thought they'd see me, but I just can't be
All
bothered.
right, we can
you
see
know.
you.
Yeah, I'm here, believe
I
me.
noticed you put your knee up there. I thought, oh, Rosie, you're getting comfortable there.
Well, I used to love reading to children, and I know how much pictures meant to me. I mean, I don't really like a book without pictures.
That's such a beautiful book. I'm so excited you're gonna read it.
Yeah, this is, it's like it's done in watercolor. It's just incredible. And it's by Beloved's Comic Book Club. And it even has an email, so
Can you show us that? Is it like a little logo or something?
it just says,
Oh, very nice. Yeah.
yeah.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
but I want to know if they've done other ones. But
Ah,
anyway, Baba went 5 times to Kashmir.
hmm. Mhm. Yeah.
Wow,
Oh, that's
amazing
gorgeous.
drawing.
Gorgeous. Oh, Mark,
Yeah.
here. Well, she'll see it.
The following stories have been adapted from Meher Baba's 5 journeys to Kashmir between 1929 and 1944. Meher Baba first visited Kashmir on 30th July 1929, along with some of his closest disciples, Mandali. And this is, I love this, what Baba says.
Look. Wow, that's beautiful.
This is God and Maya. And Baba said about Kashmir, he says, there is no place in the world as ideal as these surroundings in Kashmir. In Kashmir, there is a balance between the powers of God and Maya, and that is the way it should be.
An inspired artist. Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Beautiful.
A large part of his work in Kashmir pertained to his seclusion and contacting must, God intoxicated souls. The night before Baba arrived in 1929, the 4-year-old son of Sultana, a houseboat owner, saw Meher Baba in a dream. The boy heard Baba speak to him. I am God, and tomorrow I am coming to stay in your town. The next morning, he excitedly narrated the dream to his mother. When Baba reached the lake, the boy saw him and shouted, "This is the same God I dreamt of last night." When Sultana informed Baba about her son's dream, Baba decided to stay in their houseboat and the Mandali in another houseboat nearby. The news about God being amongst them soon spread, and all the boatmen happily gathered to meet Baba. At night, musical records were played, and the little boy who had dreamt of Baba gave a dance performance for him.
How beautiful. Oh my gosh, it captures beautifully.
The next morning, Baba and his Mandali stepped out to look for a suitable spot for Baba's seclusion work. While searching for such a place, they came across a cave on Pahari Martand, which Baba liked.
Beautiful illustrations of Baba. Wow, he really captures him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's like cartooning, just that high art.
Mhm.
Then sitting by a stream, Baba gave water to everyone by cupping his hands and pouring it into the hands of everyone. Particular blessing that Baba being in water, giving water. Whoa. Baba next proceeded to Nishat, seeking an ideal seclusion place.
Wow.
Baba's search for such a place took him to Shalimar as well. However, he could not find any place that was suitable for his work there. Next day, he went to Harvan and gave his consent for building a hut 500 feet to the side of the hill for his seclusion work after the landlord of the property requested him to accept it. After Baba consented to undertake his seclusion work on Harvan Hill, 2 cottages were rented in the village below for the Mandali to stay in. Finally, before vacating the houseboat, Baba presented his new black coat to Sultana's husband and his photograph and lockets to others. To Kareem, the head of the boatmen, Baba presented a shawl and a sweater before leaving the houseboat. Kareem was overcome with emotion and wept like a child. A young boy named Pandit Mohammed Dukandar also came for Baba's darshan that day. Baba was extremely pleased with him. Later, Baba went to inspect the hut and remarked, "The place where I have chosen to remain in seclusion is connected with Christ. His body is buried near here." the hut now being ready, Baba began his seclusion work on Harvan Hill from 7th August 1929 onwards. On the 8th of August 1929, as per Baba's instructions, the villagers of Harvan were fed a bountiful feast. However, Baba unexpectedly finished his seclusion work earlier than planned and departed Srinagar along with the Mandali on 11th August 1929. Now, this is his second trip to Kashmir, 1930. Baba arrived into Srinagar for the second time on 23rd June 1930. The very next day, he asked for Pandit to be brought to him again from Harvan. However, Baba sent Pandit back after only 5 minutes of contact. While sightseeing that day, and that's Dada Chanchi. That was Baba's secretary in the early days. While sightseeing that day, Baba came across 2 young boys, Rehman and Adam, whom he liked and had them brought back to his residence.
Rosalie, is there a picture of Pandit? Did he paint that?
Well, it's the back of Pandit.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Pandit. That was Pandit, isn't it? Early.
Oh, yeah.
He's a year older. Okay.
Beautiful expressions he gets.
Yeah, like that fine art of cartooning, just a touch. Baba began cooking at the residence, and on seeing this, the 2 boys were amazed to see such an important person undertake such basic work. Baba advised them to never feel ashamed to do any useful work.
Wow, that's a beautiful picture. Oh.
The next day, Baba visited the polo grounds in Srinagar and appreciated its beauty. Baba also went to Chazameshahi Gardens for sightseeing. Baba's second visit to Kashmir ended when he and the Mandali left Srinagar for Jammu on 28th June 1930. Baba's third visit to Kashmir happened in 1933. When he and his group arrived in Srinagar on 18th April 1933.
So the women that, can you just go back one, yes, right in there. So would that have been any of the Western women?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, for one.
Margaret.
Ah,
Yeah, those early ones. I think
Norina?
Delia,
Rena?
Norina, yeah. Elizabeth, yeah, there was quite a group.
Mhm.
And they were gonna go around the world, travel around the world with Baba, and then he changed his plans. So
I
he
think
sent it
that-
back.
I think that's Elizabeth in the solar topi, and I think that above her with the yellow, and I think that's Norina. I'm just,
Narina, yeah, who knows? Who knows, you know?
yeah, right,
Cartooning, yeah.
beautiful, yeah.
Thank you.
Baba took them around for sightseeing and gave spiritual discourses. I just love that he captures so much.
Mm.
And by the way, Vesta Clinton went with her parents in 1976 up to Kashmir. Mehera asked her to go take the parents up there. So she was blessed that way. They took a shikara ride in the Dal Lake.
Mm.
The weather was very cold. Baba commented, "I have turned the key."
Mm. Mm.
The same day, he took the Mandali to Harvan to show them the place where he fasted and was in seclusion in 1929.
Mm.
Oh, wow.
That's Narina, yeah.
Mm. Yeah. Mm. Good.
Baba dressed in disguise so as not to be recognized and took everyone to Harvan to show them where he was in seclusion in 1929. There's Elizabeth
Mm.
with him. Pointing to a hill, he revealed that Jesus's body was buried in the hill by two of his apostles, named Bartholomew and Thaddeus.
Mm.
Baba also took everyone for a shikara ride, a movie, and a picnic around Manasbal Lake.
Mm.
We can't tell what movie. But a picnic with Baba, that would be the best. Wow. Okay. Before leaving Srinagar on 23rd April 1933, they went to Shalimar and Nishat. At one spot, some Muslims were praying. Baba gestured. They are lucky to be praying while I am here.
Mm.
Later that day, Baba and his group left Srinagar.
Mm.
Actually, in that group, Baba took him to the Taj Mahal, and it was a full moon was rising, and it's beautifully described by Margaret Kraft in that trip, and then he sent him home.
Mm.
Mm.
Baba's fourth, what?
That was, they had expected to stay, right? This was,
Well, they thought we were going around the world with him. And
right?
it was 2 weeks, and then
Yeah.
Baba's fourth visit to Kashmir commenced on 4th September 1943, when he and his group arrived in Srinagar and stayed in Sam Hotel opposite Dal Lake. Baba contacted many musts during this trip, starting with the very high must Nab Sahib, who lived with his mother and children. The two exchange hats with each other.
Mm, wow. That's
See
awesome.
this. Must Amir Sahib Matu was over 125 years old and lived in a small hut naked under a tree with his pack of dogs. There he is.
Yeah.
Dogs. Oh my goodness.
Mus Hartar Namdar was over 105 years old and was a Salik and a Majub who lived under a tree. Baba contacted both of them.
Mm.
It was interesting. A friend of mine, Jonathan Burrows, had a 3-hour visit with Elizabeth Patterson. And in the visit, I mean, I don't know that she met with anyone 3 hours other than Baba, but she talked about her experiences visiting Must with Baba during the Blue Bus tour. Can you imagine? Wow. And she also said to Jonathan that meditation has no love. Very much quite a statement. Here we are.
Mm.
Rahim Sahib, an elderly must, would roam in the lanes and meadows of village Tulamu. Chowdhury Lath was a Jalali, that's like a fiery must. Chowdhury Lath was a Jalali must who wore many layers of clothing, even in summers. He was a difficult must, but, quotes, a good one, end quotes, as per Baba. This is Chowdhury, the good must, a good one. Baba and the Mandali finally departed Srinagar on 9th September 1943. This is their 5th visit. Baba's 5th visit to Srinagar began on 18th August 1944. Baba and the Mandali settled in the Majestic Hotel for a week since the bungalow they had rented was under construction and was still not ready.
Mm. Mm.
That's Chanji with Baba, of course. Chanji, Baba's secretary, became seriously ill and was diagnosed with typhoid in 1929. Baba had casually remarked to Chanji in Harvan that Chanji's grave will be in Kashmir. Chanji would often remark that he wanted to die in Kashmir as, quotes, it is so lovely, end quotes. He got his wish.
Mhm.
Chanji's condition grew worse and Baba had him admitted to Kashmir nursing home. But Chanji's condition did not improve, and on 25th August 1944, with Baba's name on his lips, Chanji merged with his beloved Baba eternally.
What a beautiful rendering of passing. Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh.
Over the next few days, Baba contacted many more musts, including Mirak Shah and Pandit Kashkak. Mirak Shah later even wrote to Baba.
Mm.
Mirak Shah.
Mhm.
So Mirak Shah wrote, "You are God, and I want to come and live with you.
Mm.
Pray, grant me my request."
He
Af-
captures Baba so well. Oh my
What?
goodness. He captures Baba's expressions.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
amazing.
Doesn't he though? Every
That-
one of these Babas is
That's
beautiful.
the high art of cartooning. It's
Yeah.
a totally hard art, just a dot, and you could get the right eye thing. And then Baba did that with his picture that
Rano.
Rana
Oh,
was painting. It wasn't quite right, and he dotted. He put his brush to it, and it was like perfect.
Mhm.
After completing his must work, Baba once enigmatically remarked, "Two mountains will bump into each other and will separate. In between, there will be one mountain, which will be the root cause of clash thereafter." Baba was referring to the partition of India and the Kashmir strife thereafter.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Daulat Singh, a devout follower of Baba, was spreading his name in Srinagar and was waiting for Baba's permission to get his family for darshan. Pleased with his love, Baba asked him to bring the family for darshan.
Mm. Mm. Wow. Mm.
Accordingly, a darshan program was held at a big bungalow owned by Karam Chand in Nishat, and almost 500 people took Baba's darshan. Wow. Baba gave extra time to Daulat Singh's family, much to the joy of Daulat Singh. Baba bid adieu to Kashmir again on 21st September 1944. And then it lists all the years that Baba traveled there, starting in 1929, then 1930, then 1933, then 1943, and 1944.
Mhm.
Yeah, I love this. So that again is, yeah, we should encourage him to do more work. Huh?
Beloved, just hold it there for a sec. Beloved, up a bit. So it's belovedcomics@gmail.com. Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking if it's out of print, we should even do a fundraiser or something to. It's a big
Yeah.
deal. It's a big commitment to print a book. It's financial commitment, and oh my
Yeah.
goodness, this book just deserves so much more.
I tell you, it's
attention.
water soluble. And I learned that because my other copy, I bought a few copies. I spilt water on the floor, so the bottom is kind of erased, but it's still so precious. You know?
Oh, yeah. And you got it from Sheriar, right?
Yeah, I spotted it one day. I like to go in to see what, they get these things from India. Yeah.
Good eyes. That's a winner. That's just
But
5
I
months.
love again, and by the way, in that video produced by Wendy Haynes, it speaks of their trip and the being at the Taj Mahal with the moon rising. It's really a beautiful video to watch. It has, of course, early footage of Baba in Portofino, and it's so beautiful, it's incredible. But here he is again talking about Kashmir, how it has this. Yeah, there is no place in the world as ideal as these surroundings in Kashmir. In Kashmir, there is a balance between the powers of God and Maya, and that is the way it should be. I have to tell you, I found this from out of the New York Times in 1932. He told Tallulah Bankhead that in Hollywood, there is an equal balance between spiritual and material forces. I thought that was incredible, you know,
What's
in
the addition?
Hollywood, California.
What's the addition in the top right corner of the cover?
It says edition 1.
Okay, okay.
And now it's, you want me to read this? What's a disclaimer? The illustrations have been inspired from happenings from Meher Baba's earthly life. They are simple artistic impressions meant to help draw a picture in the reader's mind without claiming to reflect 100% the actual situation. Then, our sincere gratitude to the many who opened their hearts and contributed generously to see this project through. Meher Baba has inspired this project, and as such, the creators of the comic book leave it at his feet to do what he must with it. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai.
Beautiful. What a beautiful.
Where was it printed? Where?
Well, it doesn't really say where it was printed. Interesting, the way you, but I'll read the beginning. It says, wait, and it gives the artist is Varinder Dhawan, and he does, and I guess maybe his wife or a relative does the proofreading. And the concept and execution is by Siddharth Verma. Inspiration Meher Baba. It says disclaimer and acknowledgements. The project, quotes, Beloved's Comic Book Club, is a not-for-profit service of love and reverence, and is an endeavor to spread Beloved Baba, Meher Baba's name through the medium of children's comic books.
Wow.
The stories have been adapted from the life and times of Meher Baba. While every care has been taken to maintain accuracy by sourcing information from authentic and respected printed material in public domain, some errors and omissions are expected. Both are unintentional and deeply regretted. No copyrights have been infringed upon. The illustrations have been inspired from happenings from Meher Baba's earthly life. They are simple artistic impressions meant to help draw a picture in the reader's mind without claiming to reflect 100% the actual situation.
So respectful. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Very.
I think it would have, I would think that it would have been printed in India or
yeah, I think so.
because it's so much more
It says-
expensive.
Oh, here it is. It says printed by, I have to get my glasses. Printed by copyright. Wait, I do have to get my glasses.
Okay.
Really?
I wanted to ask if anyone knows about Lucy and Larry.
Oh, Larry's fine. It was, he did hurt his shin. She was saying, he came home that night.
Good.
He hurt his shin. I mean, kind of badly, not broken or anything, but it's a bad scrape. Ruthie was saying today, but
Okay.
yeah, he didn't stay in the hospital.
Okay, good, because I was praying for them and how is she?
He's fine. Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
Printed by www.prince, Prince, printer, printer.com. It even gives a telephone number.
Oh, good.
Do you want me to give it?
Yeah, please.
Okay, well, the code of the country, 91 and then 98203 76924.
Okay, can you repeat that just one more time?
Okay. First 91, that's the country code, India. 98203 76924.
Okay.
It doesn't give a year.
Mhm.
That's it.
So it's www.printer.com.
Yeah,
or
www.princeprinter.com.
.com. Oh.
Princess,
Oh.
Prince and Kings and that.
King of Kings.
Yeah.
PRINCE, that kind.
Yeah.
Huh.
Prince
Oh.
Printer.
Yeah, I think we
I-
need to reprint.
What's that?
Yeah. No, it's a precious book. I just love having it.
I was just
I'll
saying,
read it every now because I love that there
Oh.
was a perfect balance.
and what are the names of the people? Verma, so, right though.
Burma, okay. Okay, illustrations and painting by Varinder, Varindder,
Mhm.
Dawan, Dhawan, proofreading and editing by Varun, Varun, last name Verma, Verma. Concept and execution, Siddharth, Siddharth, also Verma, Verma. Inspiration, Meher Baba. Shall I spell it out? I want every lover of mine to repeat my name with every breath. The repetition, these are Baba's words, the repetition should be continuous and such that even in sound sleep, it should repeat. Yeah, even in sound sleep, it should go on repeating.
Mm.
Then maybe you will get a glimpse of me.
Mm.
It's a little bit of a tease.
It's just an exquisite book.
It
Boy,
is.
I'm glad it went to you, Rosalie, because you have an appreciation for.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
man, I just, and I went back and I've sent one copy and maybe I'll send you that one, Betty. It's just a little damaged at the bottom, but you would appreciate it. I'll send it to you.
I love it, but we need to get it printed again. I think I
Yes.
investigate it.
Oh,
Everybody.
yeah,
has.
because
Yes,
it's just exquisite.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, cartooning is a high art.
Mm.
It's a high art, and I just appreciate it so that you can get something, and especially it's like about Baba, so it's like the highest of the high art, brought.
Nice.
And I
Yeah.
love this little boy having the dream.
Sultana.
So,
Yeah.
That's the man, that's the God I dreamed of last night.
So, wow. Oh, beautiful. You know
I
that,
put my I should have had my jammies on and then put
Yeah,
my bed
yeah,
and dream.
yeah.
That's right, that's right. That
A
was
cup
really
of
good
hot-
reading.
yeah, a cup of hot chocolate.
But
That
you
was-
know, yeah, we can take this video after it's
That's
taped, you know,
right.
right into bed.
I just see that.
Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah.
What do you call that stance that he's doing? What do you call it? There's a name for that.
A
in dance.
joy dance, joy. Joy.
Yeah, it's a ballet. You're right, but I don't know why. Huh.
It's a little, it looks a little ballet, doesn't it?
Oh,
Yeah,
totally, totally. Yeah.
The name,
yeah.
I can't remember what it's called. but-
Arabesque.
Look at, I love like Bubba's kind of
Oh,
the look. I mean,
Well,
his
he-
looks, he really captures. Look at
he
that.
really does. Yeah, yeah. And
And look at this. He almost looks like the must that this guy is giving. Now
Ah,
that's such a blessing. Baba in water,
Yes.
giving water out of his hands. Oh my God, that is wow.
I remember when Mehera gave me some of Baba's water.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
What
Good
did you
thing.
do? What did you do with it, Wendy?
Oh, I still have it. I still have it. And I periodically add some water to it, like homeopathy, so that it stays. And, you know, if somebody's passing, that's a Baba lover, you know, or I know would appreciate, then I use it.
That's
I feel
precious,
like give it to me, so I hope I'm doing the right thing.
very precious, very, very precious.
Look at this, so sweet.
This
Look
is
at his look.
passing me. Yeah.
So beautiful.
So beautiful.
See, just that little touch in his eye.
Yeah, you really get, yeah.
Look at that.
So beautiful.
Look at it.
Look
A
at
little,
that.
a
Yeah.
little Jalali moment looks like.
Oh, and just look at that stance with it. That we've seen that picture. I've
Yeah,
seen.
yeah,
He
yeah.
does that a lot. The hand on the hip.
yeah. Oh, yeah. And I love that Chanchi was buried there, you know, and he said because it was so lovely. Look at, I love telling them to do a work, any work
Yes.
is important, you know.
And Baba did, you know, the lowest of low jobs. And,
Yeah, that's
and that-
true.
I mean, to me, that says it all.
Well, yeah, but he has to because he is all.
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
I'm leaving, but you're not leaving, Chanchi.
Each one of those is a beautiful little painting, you know.
Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah.
And the color, they did a great job with color. It's so beautiful.
Yes, yes, yeah.
I wonder if it's digital or film. Hmm.
The shakara. I love the shape of the boat. It's just kind of like a leaf. Kind of looks like a leaf laying on the water.
It just looks like watercolors, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's watercolor.
it is water. But wow,
Yeah.
how vivid, how
Oh,
very,
yeah.
they
yeah.
could have intensified it in the, if it's, they could have done that in Photoshop if they.
Can you imagine when he pointed out where Christ was buried up on the hill?
Can you imagine? Can you
Yeah.
imagine?
Well, yeah, I mean, Narina was beside herself, like if I find this thing, it was something that Adele Walken typed up about. They were so excited that that's where Christ was buried,
Wow. Wow.
Look at his eyes there. Wow. Right this low.
Mm.
I love that he went there 5 times. Look at
Yeah.
Oh, golly, yeah. He just chose some of those photos.
Mhm.
Oh,
he's
You know-
pointing it out. Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
I'm looking
Look
up.
at the honest mirrors. The man is just
Mm.
Sam. What a funny name, just Sam Hotel. There's a little bit of a muss exchanging hats. Can you imagine? Oh, wow.
Mm. Mm.
That's the mess with all the dogs and the naked ones. And certain body parts are blurred, just blurred to protect the innocents. Yeah, the color even be it there is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Look at that bus, looks like it's floating. And I love this. It's almost like he's giving high five to Chanchi.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he captures Chanji, he really got him too, but
Oh yeah.
very
Oh,
talented.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
At the hospital. Oh, look at that. It almost looks like a river flowing in and out.
Stunning,
I love that. I
stunning.
love-
Yeah.
This is the anniversary too of Rosa's passing, Rosalie.
Wow. Wow. Today,
What's today? I don't know what
This-
day that.
It's
this
It's
the
right
seventh.
close
Yes,
because
with 7th.
it was the full
Wow.
moon.
Wow.
Who is Rose?
Rosa.
Rosa was a friend of mine, a Bible lover. We traveled to India many times together.
Oh,
Yeah. I only went to Myrtle Beach with her once. Well, not even with her, but she was there at the same time. And
Rosa was very beautiful. She just looked just fresh with beauty. Yeah, she
And
I-
is she Canadian or did you?
Yep. No, she was I want to say Romanian, but I don't think that's right. She's German. Her husband's German. I'm trying to think of the name of the country she was from. I'm sorry, I can't remember. Yeah, she was beautiful. I miss her a lot.
yeah.
Very good friend.
And her husband Horace.
Yeah, he's still alive.
And I like this one and showing all the
Yeah.
5 visits. Yeah. I
Beautiful.
mean, someone had a wonderful time making these paintings.
No
This
kidding.
person-
No kidding. So Rosalie, would you check, is it Prince Printing? I can't find them. Prince?
Yeah, Prince, Prince. Oh, wait. Well, the website is
Yeah.
Beloved Comics. Beloveds, plural. Beloveds Comic at gmail.com.
Okay, that's the email. Okay.
But it's
Yeah.
there's no S on comics, right?
There is, no, yes, there is comics.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Hold on. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the stories. I will go.
Okay. I'm glad
going
you,
to rest.
I'm glad
Yeah.
you're here. Yeah.
It was
And
wonderful.
it inserted about Baba's life.
Ah, oh,
with
I
it.
see. They included a whole,
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
Oh,
Okay.
wait. I never read this because it says about during the course of his travels, Meher Baba visited Kashmir 5 times between 1929 and 1944. About Kashmir, Baba said there is no place in the world as ideal as these surroundings in Kashmir. On another occasion, he remarked, in Kashmir, there is a balance between the powers of God and Maya, and that is the way it should be. Beloved's Comic Book Club, a not-for-profit endeavor, has created this first edition, Meher Baba in Kashmir, based on Baba's 5 visits to Kashmir, to present him in a fun and exciting manner, particularly for children in Kashmir and across India and abroad in general. We hope that both the young ones and the young at heart will enjoy the comic and appreciate the beauty of the illustration, each of which has been lovingly hand painted by the artist. We, the creators of the comic, sincerely pray to Baba, to him, that reading the comic may bring a touch of Baba in your daily life. We can be reached at belovedscomics@gmail.com. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai.
Great. Okay. Email. Oh, wow. That's wonderful, Rosalie.
Yeah.
Oh, both of these books, but especially this one. Wow. Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just such a work of love. And
Oh,
I was so excited. I thought they did a whole bunch of them. And I thought, wow. But it makes me long to go to a place like Kashmir that Baba said it was
for sure.
the way it should be. I think, wow.
you know that Dalat Singh they talk, if it's the same one, I just looked him up. He's the Dr. Dalat Singh, who on the New Life. Okay, this is Dalat Singh. He brought his whole family, right? If it's the same man, this Dr. Dalat Singh, he was the one who was crying, and his daughter was going to get married.
Oh,
And
yeah.
she was so angry with him because he wouldn't come to the wedding.
Yeah.
And so Baba let him go, but he had to go at home and beg. He went home, and I think for a year he basically was I don't know how long, but he was a beggar in his hometown, and people laughed at him and ridiculed him.
Oh,
And
my God.
remember that story?
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm trying to, I don't, what do you say here? Baba said something wonderful about him. Where?
Dalit Singh.
I mean, unless there are 2, there could be 2 Dalit Singhs, because sometimes they say Dalit.
I think it's him. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of think so too.
Wow.
Well, I don't think many people were sent home from the New Life. So weren't there only like 21 people on it? I don't know.
I don't remember. I think there were only 4 left. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's 4 women. Yeah, I know. You would think we would know. How long have we been with Baba? You would think we would.
Well, but the thing was, those that remained were still with him, like he sent Kitty and these different ones to be in different
right.
places.
They were.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were. That was their New Life job. Where is it here? So, okay. Here he is, Doctor on the 20th of December. Dr. Dalit Singh, a staunch lover of Baba, died of meningitis at Victoria Hospital in Jabalpur. Oh, on 22 December. Baba sent this telegram to his family. Such a brave and loving soul as Dr. Dalat Singh cannot but come to me, his only beloved. So that's-
Wow. Okay, so he passed in what year?
What year?
Jabalpur. That's where in 1938 Christmas Day he's standing in water, on a rock. And
Yep.
that's where that is, Jabalpur. That's where our friend is from, the East-West that sings to us in his beautiful guzzles.
You don't mean BJ? Who do you mean? Oh,
Yeah,
BJ? Yes.
yeah. That's where he comes from.
really?
Yeah,
Oh.
I think it's him. Yeah, you speak of his father and
Oh, sure, Sulu. Oh.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, VJ.
oh. Huh. Well, I'm not sure about the date. 1959? Is it possible that December 1959?
59.
Yeah.
Well, in Mayor Baba Travels, he must be in there.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
find out. Yeah.
Wow. This was powerful, Rosalie. This is a double hitter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like really awesome. Really awesome.
Awesome. Really awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we'll manage to get that. I'm going to look into it. I'm going to email those people. And
Yeah, they should be encouraged.
I'm assuming that I should ask Laura that there aren't any more copies at
No, I got them all. No, I'll try. I'm very poor at sending anything, but if I do, I'll send you that other one about.
Yeah, that's okay.
Big Ray.
You hang on to it. That's okay.
Yeah.
Please, I can ask her if you want. Hopefully she'll be there, but I have to call and put.
Oh, you do? And talk to Laura Smith, you mean?
Yeah, at Share Your Book.
There we are. Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah, I should.
Bookstore
Okay.
at Myrtle Beach, right?
Yeah. That's where
Yeah.
Rosalie got it. Yeah.
Yes. There are mermaids.
It definitely needs to be. Yeah, look at that.
There are mermaids. Yes, I saw two standing outside his tavern door. Brave ladies, come to beg disenchantment. Can we do more?
Is that Phyllis? Say that again.
That's Phyllis. Yeah. Yes. There are mermaids. I saw two outside the tavern door. Brave ladies, come to beg disenchantment. Can we do more?
That's beautiful. Oh, great. Oh, well, on that note, this was, oh, God, that was beautiful.
I should, it's so funny when you say on that note,
Yeah.
when I went to India, my second pilgrimage, and I did a performance for Mehera on your birthday. And in the performance, I found a musical note inside a bakri.
Wow.
And the note said, it's my beloved Mehera's birthday. I want you to go and sing to her. I want you to go very angelically and sing to her. But since you're not quite of an angel type, I'll issue you a costume. So I had a white dress and I had wings, and for my halo, I wrapped this. It was a golden yellow boa around my head, and I sang that song from it's a Walt Disney I think it's from Pinocchio, When You Wish Upon a Star.
Oh,
When you yearn for Avatar, makes no difference who you are. When you yearn for Avatar, he is with you. When your heart is in your dreams, no request is too extreme. When you yearn for Avatar, he is with you. And the person, it was Leslie Ott's husband and Ron Walsh, he was sticking my script in front of my face and upstaging me. And I was just, it ticked me off. So then when it was over, I stepped down the steps. That was at the amphitheater. And I went and I bowed before Mary. Namaste, Mehera. And then she gave me a kiss. I actually have a picture taken by this Baba lover that I traveled with. And, it's just one. And then she says to me, oh, Rosalie, because in my irritation, I pulled my halo off. And she says, oh, Rosalie, where's your halo? Like, to me, it was like, keep it together, Rosalie, keep it together. Don't let something throw you off like that.
I remember that picture. Did you show it? Do you have it?
I do. I was trying to think where I put it. It's
a beautiful picture.
yeah, she's kissing and kissing, and then I'm namasteing is the first one. And to get that precious picture, I tell you though, that pilgrimage, each succeeding day was more painful than the one before. Till finally, I was so freaked out. I didn't even think I should show my face because I truly felt like a piece of shit. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. And that's the only time when I go to the samadhi and I would just cry because it was on that. I flew off for this pilgrimage and I noted the date because it was Dooney Day, December 12th, 1981. And I went, oh, I'm flying into the fire. It was Dooney Day. You don't get it back. And, it was that time. I don't know. It seems like when I met Merwan Mehta, who Baba had said was Narina, previous life was Narina. So he walked me to the bus. I can't believe because my first time in India was 1976 and it was blissful. No, and this one was just pain and pain. It was like, I don't know, it almost couldn't have been worse. Not physical sickness, but boy, I was like, that was the trip at one point. I was shut out of Mehera's tea. Kitty Davy was visiting and they took everyone in, but I'm sitting on the porch. I felt bad anyway. Then I was really feeling bad. So I went to Baba's bedroom to recover or to at least cry. And the person that shut me out, the Westerner, and I just truly felt like booting her into the bed. She was bowing down at Baba's bed. And I didn't, Baba's grace. I didn't do that. But I certainly was thinking about it. And then I was embarrassed because I cried so much. So I skirted Marazad and I got on the bus to go home. And you had to enter from the back. It was that funky bus. And then it had like a cage. between you and the driver. And I'm sitting, I have one of those cremation scarves over, not like Perta, but over my head. And that's when Monty and Erich and Boher, they'd come to say goodbye. Well, Monty came and she says, who is that? Who is that shrouded there? Shrouded, she says shrouded. And, you know, she's, can you deny Monty's presence? So I looked towards her and she went, oh, come on now, Rosalie, give me that big watermelon smile. And she just, her face, and she put her hands up. And then I started sobbing. And while I was sobbing, it was so precious. She said, and in a very poignant way, she says, but he loves you. What more do you want? Unforgettable, but he loves you. What more do you want? Whoa.
Wow.
That was a gift, because it wasn't like a nagging, like, what's wrong with you? What
Yeah.
more do you, you know, it was like, but he loves you. What more do you want?
Rosalie, this
Yeah.
is Gail. Can you sing that song again? Because we need to keep up with that. That's beautiful that you changed the words, when you wish upon a star.
Yeah, when you yearn for Avatar. When you yearn for Avatar, makes no difference who you are. When you yearn for Avatar, he is with you. When your heart is in your dream, no request is too extreme. And you yearn for Avatar, he is with you.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, and you know, to be singing that, you know, I mean, she just missed Baba's physical presence. Can you imagine? You know, just she just was that longing that just so for me, if and she did say I was born to entertain. And she clearly said, she says, Rosalie, you enjoy entertaining, don't you? And I said, Mehera, I love performing. And she says, you were born for that. So then there was someone on the porch, a Baba lover. And so Baba wanted me to take note. I always took note of what Mehera said to me. I really didn't listen too much to anyone else. You know? To me, Mehera was, well, Baba, female side of God. And I didn't think of that at the time, but I didn't consider her having a personality. She was so much Baba's that what could she be with Baba? You know, she was, but, and I know at that time, I remember Fred Stankus, if anyone knows him, 6'5". When he met her, he prostrated himself. And Mehera says, no, only for Baba, only for Baba. And so Goher patted him on the back and she says, that's all right, Freddie, just get up, just get up.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, but Fred had such a beauty about him. And he did ask her one time, he says, just be, Allah was ringing, get on the board the bus. And he was a moment with Mehera and he says, Mehera, are you the same as the Blessed Virgin? You know, and Mehera said, yes, the same. Yeah. He was raised Catholic, and you know, And also Baba's mother, Shireen, she really liked Mehera, and vice versa. They liked each other. Yeah,
It's good to hear. I didn't know that.
yeah. Others find her challenging, but with Mehera, she was, yeah.
Rosalie, when you find that picture, bring it to Artie. Show us. I want to.
Yeah, I will. I had an art show one time with my Baba art, and that was part of it. And I have all these things. I have a bag of things that things that I would makeshift do for Mehera. And one day Mehera says, you should put your name on things. And I hadn't done that with certain things, and I didn't get them back. And one was precious, because I tried to get someone to take my picture with Mehera holding it. It was, they saw, Baba sat with them and they saw the whole animated version of Snow White. Well, I found this blow up picture of Snow White at the well when the prince comes. And I put Baba's face on the prince. And when I handed it to Mehera, there was such a wave of love. I think I had to sit down. And she ran around the porch showing everyone. And so I tried to get someone to take the picture. Wouldn't you know, they cut off the picture she was holding, and they showed the ceiling. I'm with Mehera, but the ceiling, and I thought, that's the wrong person to take this picture. Anyway, unforgettable. I guess her remembering being there with Baba, and usually he didn't sit, he'd leave. He'd do his work, and then he was out of that. They had to leave. So, they'd be looking back to see what happened. So I'm sure those different movies they saw after Baba passed they found out the conclusion of the movie.
You leave the movie theater before it was over. That's what you're saying.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
But you didn't leave with that one? So with Snow White? Is that what you're?
No, he saw the whole thing.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah. I mean, that's what I've heard. He watched the whole thing. And of course, it's can you imagine Mehera watching that with him? It's kind of about true love, and yeah.
Mhm.
And then I know he favored Dopey. He liked Dopey, was Dopey silent. Yeah.
That's encouraging.
Yeah. But
Oh, wow.
just so it's just the humanity. Like there was a discussion, because in the new orientation film for the center, for Mehera Spiritual Center, they actually say Baba is Christ in human form, God in human form. And there was we're debating, should we say that? Is it going to put people uptight? And I thought, because Elizabeth Patterson would say Baba was Christ-like, but I think the time is ripe, and Mehera has joined Baba. The manifestation is taking place, that people have to know that Christ came back. Because, after Jesus, he came as Muhammad, and I'm still trying to figure out that coming. I've not gotten a good explanation because he always comes and does something, and I think I've heard it described like as Jesus, he he came on the fourth plane, so he was raising the dead and healing the sick, things like that. And as Buddha, he came on the fifth plane. So, it's more mental, the mental. But Mohammed, I don't know. I'm still waiting for what he came to do. Yeah. But I have to say, being raised Catholic, and they all say, beware of those that come, that are not, because I think as Jesus, he promised he'd come back. But I never forget sitting at this meeting in San Francisco. It was some Sufi group. It wasn't Sufism reoriented. And they were saying these names I'd never heard. Maybe Buddha I heard. Zoroaster, Ram, Krishna, Buddha, Jesus, Mohammed. And I felt such joy. I thought, no wonder, that's right. That's right. Why wouldn't he keep returning? And of course, this time, the manifestation is the greatest. This is the seventh of this, since Zoroaster, that Baba is the seventh. So he will bring the expression of all those, as he came as those avatars, and it will be the greatest. But Joseph Hard would say 7-11. So it goes back, really goes back, 7-11. I tried to get some information out of a Pratapa here, but I'm just waiting to hear more. But I remember Mani, Baba's sister, saying about there's this picture of God realization, someone on a big bird going up, and also in that movie of Tukaram, he flies off on a big bird, and Mani says, don't you think they were capable of flying at that time? It's food for thought. We think we're so advanced as a civilization, We're just waiting at the tavern door. Yeah. I like this one about I love Phyllis's book. Oh, scattering his brightness, he burns holes in my night. Yes, scattering his brightness, he has burned holes in my mind tonight. Now when I look up, I understand the stars.
What's the title of that book? Sorry?
This is a book, it's out of print, called Light on Running Water by Phyllis Frederick.
I got a copy from the Northern California, they sell used Baba books. They have a whole list. Karen Talbot, I think she has other copies of that.
Anita Bayard.
I'll email you.
Anita Bayard saw Mehera. First time she saw Mehera, and she's an artist. Met Baba in 1932. She said, she described Mehera as light on running water, is what the image was. And anyway, that's what this picture is by Goody Harding, but like light on running water. Yeah. I love the
Read a couple more favorites.
yeah, well, this one's so good. Betray me if you like, he said. I will make it easy for you. Every man is my heart. You may pierce whom you will. but I reckoned not on his smile. And that each one is so precious. I want to do this one about, let's see. Oh, I love this one. A circle of avatars dressing and undressing God. The mime is good, perfection really, and all for our sakes, the slow enriching dance, and all for our sakes, the slow enriching dance. There be fools of many colors on a cloudy day. Follow the bright one only. Follow the bright one only. Little stars, run to his feet, where wit and ignorance meet. Here's your sun, your fate. You will swing round him yet. And actually, stars do swing. They swing. Whatever that means, I know they swing. It's a fact. On gems I trod, on path to God, kicked diamonds away like useless sod. What's the raga for this afternoon? Bear with me while I tune this white gardenia and sing of nothing. This is for Elizabeth Patterson. Go carefully, go slow into the new climate, music frozen, so ice white, yet loving. All around you, the movement of invisible wings. No, this isn't Antarctica. It's only the coolness of eternal summer. If my death diminishes you all, I have not lived aright. So sing louder, louder, accent the light. And I just end it with that one. Man cannot have God without telling stories. God cannot have man without creating stories. In this storytelling universe, I am only a comma.
Nice.
Yeah.
Rosalie, I have a question. Would you consider having Phyllis Frederick be the poet in the spotlight, and you would read some poems? Betty, you have the book. If I can track down Karen, I can get the book. I think it would be cool to have the poet in the spotlight be Phyllis Frederick, and we read her poems, but you read them so beautifully. What do you think of that idea?
Well, I'll tell you, I've thought about it a long time. And what I envision is movement. Actually, when Phyllis did this, she would do an energetic squiggle at the bottom of the page. Now, they did not print the squiggle, and she had a close friend, Elan Dancer, and she says, I would have put the squiggle in, the energetic. So to me, they're movement. And so I feel cramped doing them actually, because they're so moving,
Interesting.
yeah, I feel it strongly. As a matter, I thought I'd be able to pull it together
Mostly-
before Adele left, because that was Phil Adele. She would have really.
Maybe Jonathan would film you. Would video, just even with his phone, and you could do a combination reading and dance. Could you think so? Because then he could back
Oh,
it
man,
far.
that's true. I didn't think of that. Yeah.
Oh, that would be so cool. Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
They,
gonna bug you about that. That
It
would be
just had never occurred to me to have a poet in the spotlight be somebody. I mean, I was just thinking of living poets, but I
Right.
think it would be fantastic for you to dance to the
It
poetry.
has a movement. Yeah. To me,
was-
it has such movement.
Rosalie was Phyllis's good friend. That's the other part of it.
Oh, yeah. Like, I mean, actually, Baba said to Darwin Shaw, "Isn't Phyllis wonderful?" I have to say, to have God say someone's wonderful. She was such a delight,
When was her birthday?
May 31st. She was a Gemini too. Courageous as a red poppy in a green field. That's my love shouting. Love, after all, is the loudest season.
Betty, I wonder, that would be a good 11 o'clock Saturday meeting
Yeah.
on Phyllis Frederick, like for her birthday.
Oh, my goodness, May 31st. What's happening? Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. With yeah. We got a couple.
Yeah, I have to say, there's more concentration on, for me, and the timing of, Jonathan's book, and the concentration that the center, Baba's center, always is the heart.
Oh,
That's the concentration for me personally. Now it's like, the timing I feel is critical. There are just points in a road where things can go off in different directions. And I feel Baba has me right by the center. I seldom go over there these days, but I pass out the calendars to the, so people knows what's going on. But it just became so clear to me during the pandemic of each person's house. And I always love visiting a Baba lover's house to see what picture of Baba they have up, how they express in their house. And Baba spoke so clearly of Myrtle Beach. Myrtle Beach didn't speak that much of the center. Myrtle Beach, So I hope whoever can read that book that Jonathan wrote, even Prakash, it read the book. He was citing it, and there is an interview in it between Eric that Gary Kleiner interviewed Eric, and it's just so precious. And I would say, and I'm not a lover of South Carolina, I could tell you. I've asked Baba 25 years while he has me here. Why do you have me here? Why do you have me where the pilgrims landed?
So what is this book you're talking about?
It is, I'll show you the picture of it.
Thank you.
Exactly. I was wondering the same thing, Wendy. Which
It's a-
book?
Well, she'll show you. That's an
Exactly.
excellent idea. There's nothing happening that weekend, April 1st and 2nd. If Rosalie and Jonathan could get together and do that the dance and reading, that would be for Phyllis. There it is. Rosalie, I found that quote. I emailed you and Jonathan about how Norina directed the planting of the palmettos. It was such
Oh,
a-
yeah.
so it's in your email. I
This
mailed you.
This is welcome to Myrtle Beach, but
Just take it down a
you know
bit.
that, the center has a function. Baba's presence is there, but there's all these things of 17-mile radius, like Myrtle Beach.
It has a
That Baba lovers are moving here because of Myrtle Beach, and I know even when I lived in North Myrtle Beach, it was still like Myrtle Beach. I didn't even like to say North Myrtle Beach, but there is it's an appendix in this book where Eric's being interviewed. He draws a parallel between how it is in India. Meherazad was Baba's home. Meherabad is more like a battlefield. It's Meherazad, you always felt at home, and they just put themselves out the Mandali. And this particular thing is talking about the future with Meher Baba. And it just reinforces it so much. And I know, I remember that quote also from Tom Riley. Darwin Shaw saw him in India one day, and he says, "Come along, we're going to talk with Baba." And Baba says, "When my presence inwardly becomes more familiar to you, there will be no need for you to return to India." And I feel the same way as for the Myrtle Beach Center. I feel it's a central point to help Baba centers, but we don't need more cabins or I don't even need to stay on there. This Baba, I'm taking it of his word. The center, yeah, it's just so critical, and we don't know what this manifestation will hold, but you always are there with your heart,
I agree very much with what you're saying, Rosalie.
Yeah, anyway, the book is it's just a work of love. And I know Jonathan told me because his family moved here, his mother and father, and his mother said, "Why don't you go and talk with Elizabeth?" Now, Jonathan had been very into with the Maharishi and studying, Ayurveda. And Elizabeth talked to Jonathan 3 hours. I don't know that she's talked to anyone for 3 hours. She was like, she'd always talk with me. I'd always have a special talk with her, and it was special. I didn't always feel bliss about it, but she was, she carried Baba, and she certainly was an authority figure. And it's so funny because Mani, she kind of nabbed me. She was very astute, and she said to me one day, she says, "Baba gives us the greatest authority. He gives us the authority to love him." And And so along with that, no one has any control over your heart as your center. You know, there's no control. Yeah. It's very freeing. Yeah.
Well, Rosalie, I'm gonna bug you about that dance and Jonathan taking it.
Yeah, I can't promise like
I
in a
know.
time because this
Yeah.
is more critical. To me, this is like this is lit up now for me. And you know, for me, along with the mystical language, I mean, the mystical language is over the top of a gift, you know, to people experiencing the manifestation. I mean, it's like I need all the help I can get, and that mystical language is I just feel it's a fast track to intuition, you know, and I need a fast track, and I don't know how fast things will go. You know. Yeah.
Rosalie, is that book available? Are you trying to make it
Oh
available?
yeah, Sherry are.
Yeah.
Okay, let me lower it a little bit.
The spiritual abode for one and all.
I'm gonna
Is it
add
new?
that to the book list.
Good thing
You
that
see,
one's
like,
available.
once a year, I have this golden opportunity to get books up here in Canada, you know, without paying an arm and a leg for shipping, because
Wow.
friends go down. And so,
Ah,
yeah, they don't care how many I order.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's like a good one.
Wow.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good timing.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, the initials of Myrtle Beach are the same as Mayor Baba.
Oh,
But the home aspect to me is so just so important. It'll always be home. You know, I came in 1971, and when I was up in Little River, and the date, November 16th, I think it was 2021, and I went, there's something about this date, something about it. And then I went, oh my God, it's when I first came to the center. So I thought I have to go visit, you know, it's my anniversary. And that was in, yeah, 1971. But that was the only time when I drove through the gates, and it was not the same gate. It was 4 posts in the earth, you know, short posts, and they were painted green, and you had to call to say you were there. And then, but when we drove through, I could feel the energy pick up. That's the only, Baba doesn't give me experiences very often, but that time I felt it. It was not the same energy as coming off the road, you know. So, yeah, it's a blessed place. I remember giving this tour and the child, a grown child of a Baba lover, and we were in the barn, and there are ropes around the chairs Baba sat in, and the person went, "Why are these ropes on the chair? Does he think he's better than us?" And,
Yeah.
and I could see she was on the road in. Her mother had me in the car and her in the back seat. A giant dragonfly. I've never seen one so big. It was as big as my hand. Flew into the car and landed on the dashboard, and she just about freaked out. Anyway, we were in the barn, and so I'm commencing to give her a tour, and she went, why are the ropes on the chairs? Does he think he's better than us? And I says, I don't think that's the reason. And she says, oh, you're like the others. You think he's God. I said, just to try to quiet her down, I says, he's my God. He's my God. And she went, oh, God, help me. God, help me. And I says, just relax. I says, your mother will be here in a few moments. And, you know, because if you're upset to being on this blessed land, you feel that, you know, she will take you off. She'll be happy to take you off. She'll, oh my God. She was like,
Wow.
my worst tour. That was my worst tour. And, you know, it was like, what could you say? I had to say, yeah, I feel he's God. Yeah. But I said my God because I thought it could take the heat off.
Good call.
But I personally think at the time, Elizabeth was very careful to say he was Christ-like, because that was another time. And, you know, now there's even been a movie come out with Avatar, that word. I mean, it's like, and don't you think people are tired of waiting for the second coming? You know what I mean? It's like, now in the charter, it's like no other person's belief will be tampered with. But on the other hand, I remember the joy I felt that he came back. And not only, but it's the second time after he promised to come back. It was like, you know, God in human form. It's just, I'm especially loving that poem by Francis Brabazon. I can see why he's the avatars, you know, he'll be as soft as it says, dear Christ, upon this Christmas morn, let all men weep that you were born upon this earth that's thought so fair, but just the cross that you must bear. The beauty of the budding rose, the lovely sparkle of the dew. I'm forgetting the line. I like his way with words is so beautiful. Just
Where is it? Where's that poem?
Abbasan. Wait, I have it. It's just so precious. It's just been running through my being. The beauty of the budding rose, the lovely diamonds of the dew, proclaim not but the pain you chose, that we might live one day as you. All lovers' speech, all infants' cry, all sick bed sweat and dying groan, is you in us, that we may die to us and live as you alone. Let us then, brothers, lift our hands and pledge our souls in holy bands to labor for him through the lands till earth itself in Christhood stands. That's such a
You don't have, where's the, what book? Where's that from?
I don't know.
It's written. Oh, wow.
I mean, Rainey would know.
Yeah.
But I mean, just
beautiful.
to associate, and you know, now it's like we celebrate Jesus's birthday, although it's gone so material, it's just horrendous. But, and then you have Amartiti in the middle. Like he did all the suffering, it was complete, and he dropped his body. And then you have the birthday again. So it's like Baba's kind of brought him together, the suffering with the joy, you know, it's like, it's so amazing. um, weep that you let all men weep that you were born upon this earth that's thought so fair. That's but the cross which you must bear. The beauty of the budding rose, the lovely diamonds of the dew, proclaim not but the pain you chose, that we might live one day as you. All lovers' speech, all infants' cry, all sick bed sweat and dying groan, is you in us, that we may die to us and live as you alone. Let us then, brothers, lift our hands and pledge our souls in holy bands to labor for him through the lands, till earth itself in Christhood stands. I mean, I just feel that poem brings it together.
Yeah.
You know, just yeah.
Rosa,
And as the mystical language, you know, for someone to say, God in us is rejoicing his own experience of joy.
Mm.
You know, it isn't just pain, it's like the joy of you know, of dying to only experience the experience that you're Christ, you know, that you're, wow.
Rosalie, I love you. I gotta go now.
Yeah, me too.
This has just been awesome. You are a fountain of energy for Baba.
Wow,
Betty,
yeah.
stay on a second, or can I call you? I know you've got to do stuff, but I just have a couple quick questions, but I can call you.
Okay.
Would you rather we
Okay.
do it at another time?
Yeah, let's.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, I'll do it
I'll
another
call
time.
you.
That's fine.
Rosalie, yeah, we gotta do so. Yeah, that's a mission. And also your performance of that beautiful, is it Ikonokio? Oh, no, you were the angel. Oh,
I
that,
was, no, I was gonna string together Phyllis's
yeah,
poems. I mean, to me, they just speak motion.
right, right.
And I don't really see them without motion.
Beautiful. Yeah,
Yeah. And that's why I always feel so boxed in with the
Yeah,
Zoom. You
you're
know,
right. You're right.
no,
Yeah,
no elbow room.
right.
Like that mind thing. Get me out of here. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Thank you, Rosalie.
Okay. You're awesome. This has been incredible, just incredible.
But it is true about our life being our story. And, you know, and Phyllis wrote this beautiful poem. He says, 25 reasons why I love you, to Mehera Baba. And the one is, you created me and are creating me still. You know, this is going on, you know, till we're not, till we're just one. Yeah. It's a heck of a thing to be annihilated. It's very disconcerting.
All right. Avatar, Mehera Baba Ki Jai.
Jai.
Rosalie.
Avatar, Mehera
Mehera
Baba
Baba
Ki
Ki
Jai.
Jai.
Manifestation.
Mehera Baba Ki Jai. Mwah. Thank you. Stop the recording.